Welcome to closed beta.
Welcome.
I remember the name this time, guys.
We're so proud of you. It only took you 4 weeks.
Thank you.
Small class.
I tried really hard.
I'm Nima.
I'm Joe.
I'm Remy.
Thank you guys for coming back. Today,
We're going to go watch a movie,
Right.
right? I love movies.
what movie, Joe?
Warcraft.
Right.
Yes.
You've
So-
seen it already.
I have seen it
Is this
already.
going to be like the best CGI movie ever to come out so far?
I'll tell you what I was really impressed with when I saw it the first time, obviously different classes are represented in the movie because there's different classes in the game.
Okay.
I myself have played a mage for a very, very long time, so I was anxious to see the CGI as far as when they cast the spell.
Oh, I didn't even think about that stuff.
Yeah,
The
so
classes.
I didn't want it to be clunky and weird.
Right.
And I was not disappointed. And I like the entire time I'm watching the movie, I kept thinking to myself, I feel like I'm missing so much. And by the time it was over, I was like, I got to go see this again.
There was a video of a critic interviewing the director. What's his name?
Duncan Jones.
And he was being really harsh, but he was being harsh in a way that's like your audience are not going to know like anything about this world. They don't know the placement. They're not going to know any of these things. And he said all those things, and then he compared it to Lord of the Rings. And he's like, with Lord of the Rings, I have a pretty good idea where all these things are. I remember the books. And the guy's like, yeah, you read the books. It was like most of the audience didn't know before they started the movie. So they're going to start from the same place as this movie.
So what you were saying earlier is that whoever made the movie was just assuming that people know the story and the characters already.
So here's my thing. I don't think that he assumed that. I think he knew it going into it.
Okay.
And he was just like, you know what? It's not my responsibility to teach you about this.
Okay.
He's like,
That's cool. That probably
right.
gave him more time and freedom to do more cool stuff.
Right.
So in all honesty, I'm sure he went into it going, look, we're going to have roughly 13 million people who played the game. Let's just say there's another 500,000 who maybe picked up the book at some point in time. And then you have a handful of people who have played at one point and then never went back to it. So all in all, let's just say for a player base of 15 million people, we're going to make a movie for 15 million people, and those 15 million people are going to go and they're going to see it and they're going to like it. If anybody else wants to go and they're interested, hey, they can either pick up the game or they can go read a book.
I read in a small article, the title of an article really, that it just already did better in Star Wars.
In China.
What?
Really? It opened for more in China than it did in Star Wars.
I was like, wow, really? I couldn't believe it.
Yeah,
I'm glad
it's
not
already
true.
cleared like 200 million in China.
Okay.
Really?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that Blizzard gave him $100 million to make the movie.
160.
Okay, so I don't think Blizzard's disappointed by this at all.
No.
So-
He's coming. Is he doing the second one?
That's the thing is when they finish the first one, there's definitely a setup for the second one.
Okay.
and-
All right. Cliffhanger status
Yeah,
and stuff.
and they've already discussed like the next storyline they could go off of.
Okay, so I want to leave here in like 10 minutes.
That's fine.
Really, that early already?
Yeah,
wants to get there early.
I just love the previews. I
Yeah,
can't
but
miss the previews.
it's not going to take. We'll be sitting in the theater for 30 minutes, but we could be talking for 30
It's at
minutes.
2:30. Oh, okay, I see what you mean. Let's leave here at like 2:05.
Yes. Oh, that's fine.
All right,
So,
cool. Hold on. So I would like to know some of the stories so I can, because I know nothing about.
Okay, so yeah, that's a
Warcraft.
good point. So I was going to tell you. Let me preface before us go see the movie. There's a couple things that I would just try to explain to you, or maybe I can correlate things to make it easier for you guys. The planet the orcs are currently on is dying.
Planet?
Yeah,
Okay.
and the planet the humans are on is where the orcs are trying to go to.
Okay. They have spaceships, orcs?
No,
So there's fancy orcs.
so they just have
magic.
They have magic,
Oh.
and magic can create a portal between different worlds.
That's
okay.
cool.
Think of orcs much like Native American Indians, where there's different tribes all living in the same, let's just say, continent. So when you're looking at all the different tribes, there's like some of them are green, some of them are brown,
All right.
And then there's,
A lot of parallels with our current world.
yeah, like, I mean, I'm sure they all draw inspiration from actual events, times, and places. So it's not as if it's just like
Right.
completely out of some guy's brain. But so when you're looking at that kind of stuff, that's when they're all comparing different clans to each other. It'd be like Native American tribes here. So, and then the other thing,
What is the name of the Azeroth?
yeah, Azeroth is the planet that humans live on.
Okay.
I'm just trying to think of other things that might not make sense. Medivh is played by Ben Foster, I believe.
Okay.
He's the guardian of Tristfall.
Okay, he's the monk guy.
He's not a monk, he's a mage.
Okay.
But so there's one guardian in the world at any given
What's
time.
a mage? Like a druid monk?
No, just like can cast spells. Yeah. Like
Wait, is there
a witch, a man witch.
yeah,
But is there
like
a mage?
like a wizard, yeah.
Is there a difference between a mage and a priest? Oh wait, a mage does damage magic.
yes,
A
yes.
priest does healing magic.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
And then there's good magic, bad magic. That's why you have mage and warlock.
Warlocks?
Warlocks will summon demons.
Wait, warlocks are not the fish-looking things that make a weird sound?
Those are murlocs.
You might be like a foot and a half away from your microphone.
Which, by the way,
Okay,
those are also in the movie, which is pretty badass.
Are the cow people in the movie?
No, not yet. But to be fair, in this book in time, the cow people weren't in the Taurans weren't in the
Oh, okay.
I have
storyline.
another
yet.
question. So as the movie and the story unravels, is there parts that are like, is there things that happen that everybody is like, oh my God, I know what this is, and everybody else who doesn't know the story is going to be like, oh,
Yes, absolutely. There.
okay,
That's a
gonna
good
be-
thing, though.
I don't know.
I feel like that's good for fans.
Well, it's inside. It's like
Oh
just
yeah, no, for fans it's great.
Right.
But if they're trying to attract more people into the whole story, then it's not really.
okay. And to my rebuttal to that would be, we're talking about it.
Yeah, it's true.
So it's effective one way or another.
I'm excited to see a nice CGI movie.
It's
Right.
it was very well done.
Cool.
Yeah, I loved it the first time. I'm probably gonna enjoy it this time.
Wow, it's already made $1 billion in China.
Why do I love it so much there?
Oh my God. So much money being thrown around in the world.
Well,
How much has it made here?
I don't know. I don't think they even care.
When did it come out? Like 2 weeks ago?
Yeah, the 14th.
Okay.
Where's the US?
Yeah, I'm trying to think of anything else that you guys need to know. A lot of it's self-explanatory as it goes. I mean, I'm sure when we get back, you might have more questions. So try to remember whatever you're.
Probably.
Yeah.
So I was listening to an interview with him, and he was saying that he had a choice of doing a whole story that explained all the backstory.
Yeah.
Like you could have done that kind of movie.
That's a whole movie, just explain everything.
Yeah, he
Yeah.
said I could have done that, but he said when I came in, we wanted to talk about the orcs more than what they had originally thought. And he said it's better to just tell this one story that's in a short amount of time, tell that well, as opposed to telling a whole backstory and explaining everything to a new audience.
Is it is WoW really about orcs anyways or no?
That's it's not, is it?
I mean, it mainly or no? I mean,
It's
apparently
equal.
Yeah, so it's not about one particular race over another race. It's just basically everyone coexisting together.
Right.
But it just happens that much like humans, orcs would be, in some people's eyes, the balance.
Yeah.
So like you have the
Okay.
yin and the yang.
Really?
Yeah.
Why?
So like
Balance against humans?
yeah, correct.
Okay.
Because there's always been the conflict versus
Okay.
humans versus orcs.
All
It's
right.
just the balance of power. And
Okay.
the way that Duncan Jones made the movie, and the reason that they went through 3 different directors before they landed on Duncan Jones, is because when the story originally came out, it's called Orcs versus Humans, and they wrote the story the first time. And then the first director was like, okay, he was more of a fan of the humans than he was the orcs, and Blizzard was like, we don't like that.
Uh-huh.
We don't want you to choose. We want the fan to choose what side they fell in love with. So the second guy came in, did it the opposite way, and they were like, dude, we don't like this either. And then when they brought Duncan Jones in, they're like, dude, can you just do us a favor and can you just write the story and let the fan choose?
But yeah, that's really hard for a story writer.
Right.
I mean, think about it. You have to just. It's like every TV show nowadays. The bad guys are the good guys at the same time. So you're
it's
torn
what-
apart.
Okay, to your point, I remember watching the first season of Game of Thrones,
Right.
and I hated Jamie Lannister.
I love
Yeah.
Jamie Lannister
Okay,
now.
by the third season, I'm like, oh, Jamie's not such a bad guy. He
Character
was just-
development. It's crucial. Yeah, sure. I mean,
What's funny is when you start to realize, in my opinion, when people are forced to do what they have to do to be able to survive, their intentions aren't negative in any way. They're just surviving.
Survival.
Yeah, they're just surviving. So it's like, yeah, by season 3, I'm like, man, Jamie's not such a bad guy. But here we are in season 6, and I'm rooting for Jamie. And I'm like, oh God, I went from this evil guy I want to die. But then there's Joffrey, who I wanted to die from the minute I saw him.
I know, until the moment that he dies.
I'm cheering the whole way. I'm like, yes, kill him.
my hysterical reaction when he was dying of the poison, I was like laughing so
wanna-
loud.
I don't want to talk too much
Happy.
about Game of Thrones. Have
Pure
you guys all
joy.
watched the last episode?
Yes.
Okay, so
He hasn't.
oh, dude, then we won't. No. I don't want to. It's just that somebody dies that my girlfriend really wanted to die, and she
Okay.
was disappointed in how they killed him.
Oh, really?
Oh,
Yeah,
what?
the
That's
guy-
great.
The guy at the end, you mean?
Right.
Yeah,
She
okay.
was like, they can do so much better. She was, well, so I was trying to explain why they did it that way.
Yeah.
But she was like, no, I
Like-
want him to suffer.
Yeah, it's like justification, I suppose, you know.
So in this movie, one of them is a really avid player of WoW. One of the guys who plays one of the orcs, like in every interview, it's usually him because he gets excited talking about the game and the movie.
Yeah, I can't speak to who it is. I don't know for sure. You'd have to give me a name and I can tell you.
Super nerd.
Yeah. Well, I know a lot of them have at one point or
Not the main character, not the main orc, because he's played by Toby Kebbell, the Doraton.
yeah. And I'm pretty sure that the Asian woman that's in the movie, she was a huge World of Warcraft player for a couple of years. But then I don't know if she's currently playing. I can't think of her name either. I suppose I could look it up for you.
Orgrim. Who plays Orgrim?
Ogrim.
Yeah, Robert Kaczynski.
Okay.
He plays Orgrim. Am I pronouncing that? Orgrim.
Okay.
And he's a huge player. So anytime there's an interview with the cast,
Yeah.
he's the one that has to come forward and explain like the excitement of the people and also explain the world and stuff.
Sounds like there's going to be a lot of fancy names that I will never
Dude,
remember.
yeah, man. As I'm getting older, I'm getting worse with names, so it's just going to be tough.
It's like, your name's Steve? 2 days later, you
Right.
forget.
No.
Already, like, 3 seconds later, I forgot what kind of names you guys were just talking about for the movie.
But to make it easier, let's just call everybody Steve, Joe, things like that. Let's Americanize everybody. All right, so wait, we still have more time.
Yes.
Yeah, we can get popcorn,
The
get
other thing I want to
settled.
tell you is that Garona, she plays a big role in the movie.
Grono?
Garona.
Grown up.
Garona.
Gorilla.
Yes. Good gorilla. Good Lord.
Yes.
She's
Oh, she's
half human, half orc.
and the actress who plays her is beautiful.
So they can
They can communicate. Oh, yeah. There's interbreeding.
interbreeding
Yeah.
going on. That's cool. That's cool.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, you know?
It's the first thing you think about, though.
I had nothing for that.
No, I didn't even mean that in a joking way, but it came out that way. Because yeah, if she's half, that means there's definitely been shagging between orcs and humans.
Oh, shagging.
That must have been some night of
a,
passion.
That's a different backstory that's going to lead down a real long path that we don't want to get in at this moment. But
So this is easily comparable to Lord of the Rings, right?
What about Avatar?
Okay.
In what way?
I don't want to compare Warcraft to Lord of the Rings. I mean,
James
we're talking
Bond.
about one of the greatest sci-fi books of all time.
Right. It's obviously inspired by it. Like it wouldn't
There's a lot.
exist without
It's
it.
a lot. There's a lot of things that were.
Orcs.
Yeah. Anyways,
And elves and
so
all
do I
that.
want to tell? No, I'm not even going to compare them. I don't. As far as them being sci-fi fantasy, yes, they're the same genre. Other than that, I don't want to give anybody enough credit to be compared to J.R.R. Tolkien. So, but anyways, yes.
Well, I'm excited.
Avatar. Well, I can tell you right now, I would think the CGI in this is just as good as it was in Avatar, because I know they didn't do the
It's probably
orcs.
going to be better.
Well, no, they did
Right.
the orcs the same way they did the avatars, where they had the suits on,
Uh-huh.
and then they just
And
superimposed
the
this-
cameras in
yeah.
front of faces. Yeah.
So like I didn't feel out of place. Like that's the thing for me is like I didn't feel like it was cheese. I didn't feel like it was done poorly.
Dude, if the quality of the CGI in this movie is as good as the first picture when they released the picture of the orcs,
Yeah.
and to say, here's what we're doing,
Yeah.
that picture had so much detail in it. If they keep it even remotely the same level,
Yeah.
I'll be impressed. Because that picture, the dude had hairs on his shoulder that you could see. Like, that's amazing.
Yeah. I'd tell you where I think, in my opinion, it fell off a little bit. So it's not all rainbows and unicorns for me. I'll be honest with you. You know how, for instance, and I'm going to give you a bunch of cheesy examples here. You know how in Independence Day they give the speech that fires everybody up at the end, and then
Right.
the humans are going to fight the aliens. Okay. Or in Braveheart, he gives the "I'm on the horseback ride." Okay. I
Today we
feel
celebrate
like
our independence.
it was a little bit forced in this one.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So I not that I was disappointed in it. I just felt like it wasn't genuine.
Okay.
Ah.
So, and what the funny part is
So some of the acting was a little slacking behind.
Or maybe the writing.
The writing? More the writing?
Right. I don't think any of the actors did no. I will not say anyone did a poor job. I don't think anyone was out of place. I think they all did a very good job. I'm not disappointed in it at all. There's times where I felt
and
like
usually it's the people who really know the stories that tend to end up being disappointed.
No, this will be my second time going for an obvious reason. I love the game.
Hey, I watched Star Wars like 5 times.
Yeah.
2 of them in French.
There you go.
You watched a second time in French?
Dude. It was fascinating.
My main thing is they better explain why that dude's barefoot when he jumps on the back of the eagle. In the trailers, it looks really sick, and then you're like, why is he barefoot?
Some people don't like shoes, Nima.
No, he's wearing a full knight armor.
Some people don't like shoes, Nima.
They better explain it.
They don't explain it.
Fuck.
But, I mean,
He's just barefoot?
no, he's in prison.
Oh.
So I guess that's explaining it to you. I don't know. They're not like, look, you're barefoot. We know, but we need you to go into war right now.
I heard. I'm excited. I don't want to pump myself too much.
Okay, so when we come back, we're going to talk about the movie extensively for probably 45 minutes or so. And then we're also going to talk about E3.
The other thing I want to point out, and I want you guys to mention, and I want you to take I know that you're a big artistic guy.
While we watch the movie?
While we watch them. The sets for the places they go to, like most of that stuff was rebuilt. So it's actual live.
Right.
It's not CG.
It's not like smaller.
It's not like, remember how they did, I don't know. Remember we watched the instructional thing for 300 and how they made like 10 feet of it and then the rest of it's all just CGI behind it. No, they literally built sets for all this stuff. So when they were taking pictures and posting them on Facebook and stuff like that, like you're standing in the town square.
Yeah.
They rebuilt the town square.
Yeah.
So like, in all honesty, if they would open a theme park after this and they were like, hey, it's the Warcraft theme park, I would be the first asshole in line to get a ticket to this fucking thing.
You know how Star Wars sets?
Yeah.
They're using them now to make the Star Wars TV show.
Yeah. So
It's just genius, so they don't waste that
There's
money.
a Star Wars TV show?
Yeah, they're working on making like a
Really?
TV show.
I don't know about it, but that makes sense.
Or like a show, whatever.
But it's interesting because when you do a green screen, it's there's no debate about it. It's cheaper. Yeah. It's easier and it's cheaper.
Sure.
Yeah, but you know what? I bet you just
lose
notice
some
of
it
the...
in this movie. Like, remind yourself when we're watching it, like, okay, this is something we need to see. Another thing I want to bring up real fast. We were discussing this at work yesterday, and I just want to get your opinion in 2 seconds. Off topic. So there was an article that came out like Tuesday about how season 8 of Game of Thrones, all the actors asked for $500,000 an episode.
Yeah, that means there's 2 more seasons, not just 1.
Oh yeah, no. Well,
I thought there was just going to be 1 after this.
They've already signed on for 7. They're talking about 8, and okay. I said, okay, obviously I think they deserve that because
you're talking about the pay increase?
Yeah, no. But my comment after the fact was, would you be disappointed or would you watch a cartoon series after the fact like they did with The Matrix?
That's different.
Yes,
but following different characters, following different paths.
Branching off,
If they do it in the same style as The Matrix, where they give different directors and writers complete control, they don't say, do some
as long as they're all following the storyline or whatever. Yeah,
yeah, and like give them creative control and say, do something that adds to the story, because the Animatrix series really adds so much to the Matrix story.
And they were sick, all of them.
They were amazing.
But they were all before the Matrix, so the story was like...
Were they?
Yeah.
I don't remember every
They're
single
all
one
explaining the rise of the machines. This one, I would love for them to go into some of the characters' pre-stories and even... after, if something happens after.
So everyone, we're all in consensus. We'd all be interested in watching that,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Star Wars is still more important for me, but
the plan was to do 10 seasons on HBO and have the whole thing wrapped up by...
That was their plan?
The 10th season, yes.
I thought they were going to be done after... I think one more season after season 6 would be over. That's what they've been saying.
Well, but... So let's just... Okay, I don't know.
I mean, I hope they keep going because there's so much to wrap up. Like, they can't do it in just 13 episodes.
Because we hear so much about the Mad King. And we never get to meet the Mad King.
Right.
We never get to see any of that. We never get to see any of the original battles.
You know what happens? The kid that can travel back in time now, he's the one responsible for the Mad King going crazy, I bet. And that's why Jamie kills him.
You
blah,
have
blah,
that
blah.
theory.
Yeah.
There's another theory going around right now that Sansa's having...
a baby.
Yeah.
Well, that's
remember
why,
he says to her, I'll always be a part of you.
Mm-hmm.
So many people think that she's pregnant right now.
Yeah.
Who's
dude.
who's a really suave cool guy? That's really creepy. He had the brothel.
Oh, Littlefinger.
Littlefinger.
Yeah.
In the next
Vegeta.
in the next preview, he says, I thought you always knew what I wanted.
Yeah.
That's creepy.
No, I totally, bro. I'm telling you, like, I feel so. The only solace I find in all of this is it took Sansa 6 seasons and 6 episodes to figure out she's alone. Like, she's got nobody in the world that can protect her. She's got nobody in the world.
She's got Jon Snow.
No, even then, I don't think that. I think she understands.
Jon Snow literally went to die for her.
No, and I understand that, but I also believe that she realizes no one's going to protect her but her.
Well, they're not even related by blood.
Yeah.
Right.
Well,
he's a bastard, right?
They should be related by blood, but there's theories out there.
Yeah, there's that he's not even a Stark. He's a Targaryen.
Wait, you told me about this.
He might be Khaleesi's cousin.
Yes. No, it would be brother.
No, cousin. Because
wait, Targaryen.
No, same dad, different mom.
No, not same dad. It's the Mad King's brother that impregnated that impregnated Rob's sister. Oh, so I guess it is the same blood. Never mind.
Yeah, no, it wouldn't be his. It would be Rob's. No, it would be
Not
Ned's
Rob.
sister.
Ned's sister. No,
Yeah.
not Rob. Yeah, Ned's sister.
Yes.
But that's the Mad King's brother, apparently.
Yeah.
Wait,
But,
the Mad
there's
King.
another theory about Tyrion.
Yes, I saw that too.
And now they would be, him and Khaleesi would be brother and sister.
Wait, the Mad King has no
same dad,
relation
different mom.
Yep.
to the dragon lady, does he?
Yeah, he's the. So okay, when the whole thing went down at King's Landing and he was stabbed in the back,
Right.
the 2 kids that got away
Were the two?
were her and her brother. That was in season 1. They were taken away as infants and they ran away. So her dad was the Mad King.
Okay. Whatever. I'm thinking.
I think we
Oh
might have-
shit!
I know, we might.
I'm so sorry.
Well, we're not talking about the latest episode.
Yeah, we're not talking about the current
We're talking about
episodes.
bigger theories.
You're fine. We're talking about actually season
But no,
1.
you
Actually.
probably started doing it because we talked about some other things that we might have fucked it up for him.
Oh man,
No.
we have somebody else in the room that hasn't watched the last episode, so he's poor guy. He's covering his ears.
I gotta tell you though, it sounds great. I'm getting the feed from the mics. You guys are live right
So now people on Facebook can log in live and check us out, and they hear from the microphones.
And, yeah.
That's
We're
great.
not actually broadcasting the podcast live.
No, we're not.
No.
But we should do this eventually.
Oh,
Yeah,
Absolutely.
absolutely.
Yeah.
For sure.
I was even thinking about if I didn't have to use my laptop today, I would have done it today and just put it on YouTube.
But we have to find a way to record
Right.
this. I mean, it's pretty easy. The stereo sound comes out of here. Right now it's raw without any EQing or anything. If you put the compressor and everything in line, it's going to sound like studio quality, loud, and everything.
Okay.
So
We can do a whole episode of something about Game of Thrones because I need to understand it more.
It's true. I think I've read the first 2.5 books.
It's really not my favorite. I mean, it's
Oh,
cool,
no,
but
dude,
you love Game of Thrones.
yeah, like
You're a
I,
fanboy.
I love it now. I love the last episode completely because so much happened in the last episode.
The last few episodes made me like it again. Like,
the thing for me that I don't know. I love the whole Stark storyline, the whole Stark family. I'm like, God, and then they just, God, it's so sucky.
there's just so many like teasings like throughout the seasons. Like right now, I can't wait for Bran to drive the dragon around. Period. I just can't wait for that. You know,
Drive the dragon around.
You know, Jay,
Again, this is theory,
This
not
is
real.
theories,
This is
not-
all
yeah.
just theory.
Um,
Yeah, we're just speculating. We have no clue.
George R.R. Martin's pitch to the editors
Yeah.
was leaked online. Have you seen that?
No.
I was like, oh, this is really interesting. I started reading. I was like, holy fuck, this is spoilers. Like, it's just, he literally goes over what his pitch for the whole story could be.
Yeah,
and
he-
in the beginning, he's like, I don't really like doing pitches. I don't want to cover the whole story.
obviously, hopefully, the men are gonna come together. Like maybe the last episode of all this to fight the White Walkers.
Well, he already said how he wants to end the movie or end the show. He
Who
already
has?
gave the end. George Martin.
Oh, don't tell me.
He said this is how it's going to end. By the way, your phone just shut off.
Oh, yeah, your phone just.
That's
All right, cool. Let's we're gonna go watch the movie, guys, and we'll be right back. I'll put some music on for you.
And again, sponsors, you'd go right here.
Jimmy John's.
Yes, sponsors.
I'm-
Jimmy
I'm-
John's. No, the guy kills elephants.
What?
For fuck's sake.
All right.
Everybody does something you're not going to like, okay?
That's true.
Yeah, but killing elephants.
I love how this is the true story. People would call me up when I worked for the previous company that I was working for and be like, I don't like you guys because you host porn sites. I'm like, you have no problem buying domain names from us.
Ah, come on.
but
That's
if you hosted
different.
a porn site,
That's not hurting anyone.
Is this paused? Pause it because I want to say the name.
All right, bye.
You ever try to pick apart his lyrics?
No.
Just pick any one of his songs and start reading the lyrics. You're going to be like, this doesn't even make any sense. Yet when you hear the song, you're like, God, this song's amazing. It's just,
Oh man, that was a cool movie.
yes.
We're back.
Way to make it awkward, Nima.
Why
Way to make it awkward?
It's awkward for you, not for me.
Yeah, it was good. It was just as good the second time as it was the first time.
We just got out.
All right, so let's start. Nima, what did you like? What did you dislike?
What movie did we just see?
We
Again?
just saw Warcraft.
Yeah.
I liked
I forgot for a second.
the main. I need to have the IMDb page up. The main guy. The main.
Lothar.
Is it Lothar?
Yeah.
Lothar.
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 Yeah.
He carried the whole movie. Like he was
Lothar
awesome.
the
He was
new
charming.
the new guardian of the people? Not guardian
No,
that way, but
That's
new,
Khadgar. Khadgar's the new mage.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now the new leader. Who's the new leader?
That's Lothar.
Okay. Cool.
He's the guy who plays
He's
in
the main
Vikings.
character.
He plays in Vikings.
Right. I actually want to watch the Vikings now because he's really good in this.
Okay, so you liked him.
I liked him. He carried, and his acting and his character carried the whole movie.
Garona, what did you think of her?
Not as good.
Not as good, but it's not her fault. It's just it's hard to do. The half and half between human and orc.
Yeah.
It's tough to do
She
because
had
you're just
like real makeup, like what do they call these things, prosthetics on her face and stuff.
yeah,
like
they
that.
didn't do that though. They just made a green human with teeth.
What did you? Yeah, was it just teeth?
It looked
Well,
like it
she's
was
a
just
hybrid.
teeth. So that
Okay.
for me was lame. But
Okay.
everything else it was okay.
What did you think of the CGI for the orcs?
CGI was great.
Yeah.
The CGI was fantastic, but I feel like if I compare it to other epic movies, he didn't use the amazing CGI as well as any.
Like just the sheer size of the orcs, though, were you impressed with? Like,
Yeah, they're huge, and it looks like real muscle and everything. So it's like a combination, probably, of real footage of these guys, but they.
I think that CGI was perfect, and what I like the fact that when he was sucking their soul out of them,
Yeah.
you know how they were getting smaller,
Yeah, skinnier,
their
and- yeah.
skins were like the clothes were
Yeah.
falling off. That was like cool detail that they added.
Okay, what didn't you like?
I think the criticism is right though. There's a lot going on in this
Sure,
movie.
yeah, and you
There's
don't
a
know anything about what's
right.
going on. Yeah,
There's a shit ton going on in the movie.
okay.
I recognize some of the. I know there's a fly in here. I recognize some of the locations,
Okay, yeah.
especially the last shot. You know how it's zooming out of a tent for the orcs. It's like a red tent after after the battle.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's in the game.
Well, the location is like they're. Okay, so let me try to pinpoint. Do you remember at the beginning of the movie? There, like the very, very beginning of the movie, there's like that barren land. There's like the 3-story tier tent with the red top on it, and he throws the sword, and it's just him versus the orc standing there.
Right.
Okay, you and I were actually in that spot in the game when, but the time you stopped playing. That's like late level 20s. It's called the Barrens.
Right.
And it's just outside of Orgrimmar, which is like the hometown for the orcs. So yeah, there are definitely some spots in the game where you have, I know you have been. So
The opening shot was amazing.
Yeah, the opening was awesome.
I wish like they were saying that this is what's happened thousands of years in the future, right? This is where we are now. It kind of felt like they were saying this is you playing the game. Let's go back 1,000 years and explain how you ended up here. But that was really cool.
all right, what did you like? Remy, what did you dislike?
What did I like?
What did you like and what did you dislike?
I've always liked that kind of fantasy.
Okay.
It's cool.
Yeah.
Magic the Gathering.
You played Magic?
I used to.
Yeah, okay. So I mean,
Loved
it's right
it.
up your alley.
I guess so. The nerd thing.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Just
I
out
like
of
it.
curiosity, if you had a computer that could run this, would you at least try?
The game.
Yeah.
Warcraft. World of Warcraft. Which, by the way, they're adding action cam, which completely changes the game for me.
From what I understand, the game is like it's so vast that you can kind of play your
Okay.
kind of sub game.
Okay. So let me.
If that's the case, then yes, I will maybe give it a shot.
So here's what I would suggest. And even if you played to just level 10 or level 20, because you can play the game for free right now.
Yes.
You can download it for free. You can play it for a month for free. There's two questions I would ask you. Number one, would you pick Horde or would you pick Alliance?
It's all hypothetical.
Yeah, hypothetical. Just saying.
Okay,
like,
so
we
who,
were loaded up right.
Horde or Alliance?
So yeah, and here's the tricky part. There are a lot of other Horde characters that you haven't seen.
The green people who attack the orcs. Are they some kind of Horde character?
All the orcs are together in the game,
Well,
right?
no, there's the green things with the huge the first time the leaders from both armies meet within that tunnel of black mountains and stuff.
Okay.
The orcs get ambushed by something bigger than humans. They're all green.
The
They're
green
massive
orcs, right?
like that
Okay,
too.
but the green orcs are the orcs who have taken the fell magic.
Okay, I feel like an idiot. Yeah, that's
Okay.
right. I remember now.
Okay, so those are orcs. But so on the horde side, and I'm going to do my best to try to name all of these off here. You have the orcs, you have the tauren, which are the giant like cow. You know what a tauren is? That's magic. Yeah.
Like half human, half
Yeah.
cow.
Yeah. Okay.
All right.
There's the undead, which is literally just humans who are dead who are possessed like zombie type characters.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah. There's goblins, which you don't really. I don't think you see here. Okay. What else am I missing?
Do they all live on Azeroth?
Yes.
So the only people not from Azeroth are the orcs. These orcs.
Well, there's also another race called the Draenei, which, believe it or not, I'm going to ruin some stuff for you guys here. Garona is not half human, half orc. She's half Draenei, half orc. But you haven't seen the Draenei. You don't know what the Draenei is.
They're probably close to humans.
The Draenei are the blue-eyed people.
Yeah. So they're like these. You know what a satyr is? Like where they have like. It almost looks like an antelope kind of thing.
Okay.
But it's a human form of animal.
Right.
Okay. Draenei is kind of like that.
All right.
Just like
They're very lengthy and they can jump fast.
well, they're bigger like orcs are as well too.
Oh,
But
okay.
they have like the backward leg hoof kind of thing. It's really weird. But so anyways,
Yeah.
I digress here.
I saw elves. There was
there's
elves.
blood elves. There's blood elves. So there's two different kinds of elves. There's
Which ones were the ones sitting with the
Blood elves,
community
right?
or
no,
whatever?
technically they could be either or. So in the beginning, there was only one kind of elf. There's night elves, and then there are, much like the orcs, there are the elves who took the magic, and they became blood elves, and they basically
Elves on drugs.
Yeah, and they started slaughtering each other.
Oh,
And
not cool.
then they kind of went their own ways. They're like, you guys go this way, we're gonna go this way.
So which ones end up with the humans?
Night elves
The
did.
night elves. Well, the ones in
Which
the movie
are
were
the
the blood
good
elves.
elves.
Well, so
They were white with blonde hair.
when you join the Kirin Tor, which is the mage kind of city thing, okay, it's like taking the black in Game of Thrones. Like you're not affiliated with one side or the other anymore. You're now part of like basically the
Okay.
protectors.
Right.
So
your
same
sigil-
idea
your
here.
sigil's
Yeah. So
a fish.
I don't want to say that the elves that are there they were originally night elves or they were originally blood elves. I couldn't tell you. I don't know. But once they take the Kirin Tor, it's like they're not affiliated with.
So they haven't taken the Kirin Tor yet at the movie point.
No, they had.
Oh.
And for them to even be in the city, for them to even be like protecting the realms, they're already part of the Kirin Tor. That's why Khadgar was there and left, and everyone kept calling him a traitor.
Why did he leave? I don't understand.
Oh wait, there was something like to understand better. The whole part where
Okay, this is the best.
it's within the orcs,
Okay,
group, whatever, and they settle things via duel.
yes, the
that. Really
Makra.
cool, right?
Yeah.
Right.
Tell me more about this.
It's I would assume it's again native, like prehistoric.
Right.
Yeah, just one tribe leader challenges another tribe leader, and if
there's
he wins,
rules.
yeah. When he wins, your tribe becomes his tribe now, and you guys just fall underneath one clan. So,
Oh wow. So
but you better be damn sure that you're going to win.
So why does the main human character wake up in the middle of the duel and has to fight right off the bat with their strongest
Because he
warrior?
was challenged to the
He's challenged.
right.
So Blackhand, the guy with the stupid spikes.
He was challenged. Oh,
Yeah.
he challenged
Right.
the human. Oh, okay. So then the human killed him. So all the orcs are like, let him go.
Yep.
It's part of the rules.
I
he
love
won
that.
fair
I
and
love that
square.
part. Right, and they would do the honor
Yeah.
chest tap thing.
So what does that mean? That now the orcs are gonna kind of start rebelling against the magician or
I don't think so because the humans hate
Gul'dan?
those orcs.
Gul'dan.
The
Yeah.
humans still hate the orcs, and like that guy left thinking he was he was like backstabbed. by-
Yeah. So like,
Yeah, but he still has he's still the leader because he's still more powerful than all of them.
so there's a long history. Think like Middle East long history of humans and orcs fighting forever, and every time there's a treaty
He
somewhere.
was looking in the book, right? So
Yeah.
he found out. hold on. So
Like for hundreds of years,
Yes.
orcs and humans have
the
fought each
new
other.
mage, what's his name again?
Khadgar.
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 Yeah, yes.
Khadgar.
Yeah.
Khadgar.
Kada.
Khadgar.
There you go.
This sounds awesome in the headphones.
Don't lose your thought.
Oh.
He had a book.
He found books in the library because he's a
Right.
he's a
Black
scholar
book.
Yes.
and he wants to learn.
Yep.
And he finds things that went back in time, right?
Well, because you remember
So
before
how old
Medivh-
is Medivh? How old are their lineage?
Yeah. Okay. So here's another thing that you don't even know what's going on right now, but it has. So
Do
like
tell.
at this point in the timeline, the Azeroth is probably already 1,000 years old.
Okay.
What you don't know is that in the beginning, there are what they call old gods. There
Do
are
they believe in Santa still?
what's Santa?
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 Oh, Santa. Oh,
I was making
Jesus.
a
Actually, I
joke.
think they do.
Okay, whatever.
This joke was not
No, in
funny.
World of Warcraft,
they don't,
Christmas
they don't
shit.
call it. Yeah, they don't call it. They call it something else.
Okay,
But
anyways. Oh, they have a Santa?
they have Christmas. They have all the festivals. They have Easter.
What?
Yeah,
It's
they call
really-
it
it's actually really
Instead
nice.
of Easter, they call it Noble Garden.
Like they do
yeah.
New Year's shit.
Yeah, it's
The king, by the way.
They shoot fireworks off every year on New Year's Eve. You can go to any major city and you basically get to the highest point and there's fireworks going off in
Yeah,
the sky.
people are gathering to
Yeah,
watch
it's
fireworks.
anyways. They
Well,
put a
that's
lot
cool.
of thought into this
The
game.
king,
yes.
he was just like there to do his job as a good king.
Yes.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so where I was going with this is when Azeroth first started, and Azeroth is the world, there were 5 what they call old gods, basically that controlled different aspects of the known universe. The old gods don't stay on one planet and rule it forever, so they basically pass their magic onto a keeper. In this case, they chose 5 dragons. So there's a black dragon, which is the dragon of death, the red dragon, which is the dragon of life, green dragon, which is the dreams, gold, which is time, and then blue, which is magic.
That's so sick.
So it's time travel?
So
Dude, blue is highly magical and
just hang on a second. So, and where I'm going with this is you had to understand the dragons are literally thousands of years old, but they don't live on the planet anymore because there's no dragons. So dragons have the ability to turn themselves into any form they want on the game or in the world for that matter.
I have a question really quick.
Yeah, hang on one second. So a lot of people that you're seeing, for instance,
Are
walking
they
around
dragons?
is a dragon,
Right.
but they don't know it's a dragon
Right.
because he won't come out of form.
Right.
Okay.
Does that person knows they're a dragon?
So you're saying the king's a
they
dragon?
know they're
Okay,
a
they
dragon.
know they're a dragon.
Yes.
You're saying
So-
the king's a dragon?
Back
I'm
to
not saying
playing
that.
the game itself.
Okay.
When you buy the game, you start the game, you
Load it
start it
up.
up,
Yep.
you load it up. What happens? Are you asked what you want to be?
Right.
Fir-
They ask
yeah,
Horde
first thing-
or Alliance,
yes,
and then
yeah.
you pick your
and then
race
you pick
and
your
class.
class, which is, do I want
So-
to be a mage? Do I want to be a warrior? Do I want to be a hunter?
So do you know all the?
Backstory and lore.
Are they pretty well equalized? Is what I'm asking.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's a counter to everything.
So how
in
do
the
you
game.
know which one's going to suit your style of
Okay.
thinking?
So this is why I asked you 2 episodes ago on our podcast. Wouldn't it be cool if you would take like a psychological profile test?
Oh,
And then you could literally say,
Yeah.
okay, well, this is the class that best fits all the answers that you answered. So,
but that
if
would
you,
be a very deep psychological
sure,
test.
fine. Make it 50
Like,
questions.
top
Make it
of the-
100 questions.
top
I
of the
don't care.
line.
But if you sat down and you actually answered honestly, and the game was like, okay, look, this is where the best class is going to fit you.
Then if you're really good, and then if it really worked, then you're gonna own. Right?
But regardless, so you get to pick your race.
Can you choose to become a dragon?
No.
So what is up with that? If there's characters that are dragons,
Yeah. So, I mean, there are things that they don't allow you to do. I mean, you're just part of the bigger.
so maybe the dragons are the people who made the game, or making sure things. They're like the bad guy, the agent in the Matrix.
Yeah, that was Agent Smith. Actually, what's funny is every time I've ever seen a game master in the game, like when they come to like balance the.
Can I just say that's the best part about World of Warcraft, and every game needs to do that.
So they pay people.
The support is within game.
They pay people to sit in the game and keep balance.
Okay.
So, for instance, if one kid's sitting in Goldshire just dropping N-bomb after F-bomb after, okay,
they go to
Dragon-
him. They're like, they go shut your mouth.
Yeah, no, they'll like open up his character. They'll take all of his money away from him, and then they'll kill him.
Oh,
And then they'd be like, hey, do you want to keep talking shit? Because we're going to make you run back to your body, but I'm going to put you across the planet. And then these kids will be like, yeah, they'll just troll people. And they'll do it on purpose, like as a punishment.
Like if you're being
that's
trolled,
cool.
if
I like
somebody's
that.
bugging you,
It's
you
like
can literally
the game police.
Yeah.
Right.
But every time I've ever seen a game master, they've come in dragon form.
So that's yeah, okay, all right.
So-
There you go. All right, cool. Question answered.
Yes.
So back to the 5 colors, what they do and stuff like that. So that's within the human realm or the
Azeroth,
Within
the
Azeroth
world, right?
world.
within the world.
Yes.
Okay, so the human are more like blue and
No.
it doesn't matter. Okay,
yeah, so
every group of
everything
people
would fall under. Yeah.
can reflect all 5 different
Yeah.
Right.
black.
But each
white,
race
black.
is on one side of, like the
They're
human
all
race
good.
is alliance.
Right.
There's no humans that are on the
Nope.
horde side.
No.
No. So the elves and such
Well, undead
are part of the
dead humans.
Okay.
are part of the alliance. Like the elves that we saw, the
Night elves are good. Blood elves are bad.
Right.
ones that we saw,
There were blood elves.
We don't know.
Dude, there were blood elves.
they had to be the good kind.
No, they were
That's
they
just
were
what
the
I'm saying
kind
to you.
that are going to
Once
be
they
bad
join
in the
Kirin
future.
Tor, they're not good or bad. It's like taking the black. So when I like the old Maester,
What are they
member,
doing there then?
They're protecting the realm. They're the mages that protect everyone.
They're
They're
part
like
of. They're part of
they're
it.
literally the wall. Like they're the watchers on the wall protecting from the White
But hold on.
Walkers.
The elves that we see are the blondes.
They're
the
just
white.
They're white hair. Yeah.
Those are the blood elves in the game.
So much like the orcs turn green when they drink the fell. When
Oh, it's
you're
a
consumed by
potion?
magic, your hair will lose its color.
So the fail is a potion of some sort.
The
Created by who?
fell is basically dark magic.
It's mana, right?
Not mana.
It's just dark magic.
yeah.
So that means they've consumed the magic already?
Or they were forced, much like Blackhand was.
So that means they are the blood elves. The ones that
No.
we saw in the movie.
So there's bad magic, good magic.
So, and either one makes you the white blonde hair
I'm saying it changes you physically.
to,
We don't. It affects everyone differently.
but with the elves.
Again, there's no answer. You're looking for an answer that doesn't exist.
No, because
They're no longer affiliated with
There's
one
a
class.
night
or another.
elves.
There
There's
are
a-
night elves. Yes.
what do
there
they
are
look
nights.
like?
They look just like blood elves, but they're a different skin color.
Right.
Yes.
So the ones that are light skin color are the blood elves, aren't they?
They're well, again, but we don't. So that's
So that and that. The
Yes.
purple elves are the.
well. You can change the skin tone of a.
Damn it!
Yes.
You're right.
I mean, like you're searching for an answer that's not there.
I wonder if I can even open Warcraft.
So yeah,
now.
the game lets you really customize your character. When really in the story, you're like, you know,
and
you're part of a group.
What I would encourage you to do is again because you can play this at your own pace. You don't. I know that you're a busy man and whatnot.
I'm gonna have it like 12 minutes a day.
That's fine. But all I want you to do is log in and experience what it is to be able to either pick good. Because here's the thing: when you pick your faction, good or bad, or Horde or Alliance, you pick your race. So whether you want to be a troll or a Tauren or an orc or a human,
Then so there's same races on each side that you choose. You can choose.
they're. I don't think ever.
They're not the same.
The only one that overlaps is
The panda
the
people.
panda bears. But the point being.
That's awesome. Promising. I want to be a panda bear.
So that's fine. But what I was going to say was they all start in different places within the world.
Which
so
is
you
a
can
cool,
literally
really cool.
start the game over 20 times and never start in the same place.
And you start with 0.
Yes. And then
No backstory, nothing.
Oh, sure. If there's definitely, I mean, again, there's books, even strategy guides that give you like 4 pages of lore on the background of orcs.
So does it, when you select obviously you get special perks from being that breed or that breed.
Every class or every race has what they call a trait, a racial, and everyone's racial ability is different. So some have things where they can gain health back. Some have more, like an orc is like, I think +5 to strength. So they can hit harder. So like there's different everything. So
cool.
you have to make a choice, and then
again, if that's when the psychology test would come in greatly, and it would be so handy.
and so it would be fun to watch you pick a class, pick a race,
I'll tell you that.
and then just play for a couple levels.
Let's think of the simplest way to make that happen so that I can actually start. But at the same time, you guys like follow it so that we can broadcast it or use it.
You can live stream it.
As in like a reality Remy's trying to this new video game TV thing.
We could record it and just say,
Like we could join him wherever you start.
Nima will tell you. Nima will tell you. I humbly say I'm pretty good at video games.
The funny thing is, I remember more often Remy saying he's good than Remy actually being good. So I don't know
Exactly.
okay. So you're at least willing to try.
Yeah.
So
it's free.
right. No, but the point being is that the movie impacted him enough to go, All right, I would like to know more.
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
For me, the best part of
the fantasy thing.
Yeah.
It's fun.
the best part of WoW is the sheer number of people that are playing it. The economy, it's really cool, and the
Oh,
cities.
God, the economy is a shit show, is what it
I
is.
love the economy.
It
The
is a
economy
full-
within the game.
Yeah,
Right.
living, breathing thing. At one point in time, the World of Warcraft economy was like the 36th largest economy in the world, in the like real world.
That's crazy.
Yeah, like
That is crazy.
yeah, like their currency was worth
So-
more than
So
third
money,
world countries.
a lot of money was
Yes.
going around
Yes.
every day, every second.
A lot of my friends, we used to call it buying Girl Scout cookies because it's frowned upon in the game. But we'd buy gold from gold farmers, so we didn't have to go out and do it. So I can tell you that I know people who've probably thrown a couple $100 to gold farmers to just go and get gold for them.
So so the game is so big that it lets you just specialize.
Trade currency. So in-game currency versus real currency.
There's a market within the game that people sell stuff.
Yep.
So if you get really
I
good
owned
at
the
one
flower
thing,
market for like a whole hour. It was amazing.
like you were selling flowers.
Dude, I was low level. I couldn't do shit, but I could definitely pick flowers. So, just go pick
if you're really good at one thing in the game, if you pick the right character for you and you're really good at something, you
Yep.
can get paid for your skills within the game.
Ideally, sure. Yeah.
That's a broader kind of picture.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah. There people play for different things.
Is there
too.
assassins in the game?
Yeah, they're called rogues.
I was
Yes.
gonna say the ones with the two.
No, I was in. Can you be like? Can you be a human or an orc or an elf and become an assassin
Yeah,
as
they're
you're
called-
playing?
They're
Like,
called rogues.
yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a race,
They
isn't it?
disappear. No, it's a class.
Oh, right. Okay.
Oh, there's a class too.
The class is called like a rogue is a class.
So you get to select the class.
right. You pick your race
you
and
choose
then what
faction,
class.
you choose race, you choose class.
Okay.
So I was an
And rogues
undead
can
priest.
vanish, so disappear, like basically be in the shadows.
Yeah.
And then their main ability is called a backstab, like an
Yeah,
assassin.
they're probably very weak. So if they get cut,
Yes,
they're
but-
done for.
They can kill you in
Yeah.
two swings, and then they have another ability where they can just vanish.
Right, like you're grinding for, I don't know, you're killing crabs and shit, and all of a sudden just one appears already stabbing you back. Yeah.
That's
and
cool.
low-level zones, Blizzard protects, for instance, new people.
Yeah. So
Where
you get to practice. It's like a little
You can't be
training
attacked.
camp.
You can't be attacked by, for instance, a level 100 character. It doesn't let you.
Only like 30 or 40 or 60.
No, not even that. Like when you're in this zone, you could literally, it could be the same level. You can't fight each other.
Oh, okay.
And so then what I'm convinced there's a zone in the game called Stranglethorn Vale.
Wait, hold on. So what does that mean? Because it's random where you spawn. You said,
It's
right?
not
But there's
random.
there's regions that
But
are not
it's not
PvP.
random. It's predetermined, but every race has its own starting point.
Okay. So that's when you first start the game.
Yeah.
Okay.
But when you get to mid 30s, or I should say maybe high level 30s, low level 40s, there's a zone that everyone gets kind of funneled into called Stranglethorn Vale.
Okay.
And that's when your love or your hate for your
yeah.
faction or the other faction like starts to brew with inside of you.
Why?
Because you can't walk 5 feet without getting stabbed in the back by somebody else. And you get so frustrated.
During that, it's like a funneling phase.
Yeah, where-
that just the really good ones, the cunning ones, make it through.
And then they'll just sit there and they call it corpse camping. So as soon as you die, they'll just wait for you to spawn again and then they'll stab you in the back
Oh,
again.
that's lame.
But that's so the point being is when you get to that point and you die over and over and over again, your hatred for the other side grows so strong that if you were anywhere in the world when you're, like, say you're max level, you see another person on the other side, you've been killed so many times by the other side that your first reaction
Right.
is let's go get them.
Yeah.
And then you're just like,
Okay, so there's that funneling phase, and then
But PvP exists everywhere, right? More or less
Yes,
everywhere.
Right. But this is the first time you're being forced into
yeah,
it.
because that's how you progress in the game, right?
Right.
So what happens when you pass that point?
Yeah, there are other zones
Then it becomes
where,
easier, but then it becomes like bigger.
Yes. So you
sick.
could be anywhere,
Yeah.
like just fishing on a river in the middle of Never Land, and boom, stabbed in the back, and you're like, really, right now? And it, dude.
So it's like, and what happens if you get to a point and then you like what you're saying, you want to explore that space,
Yep.
and then you get killed. You spawn there.
The nearest graveyard, and then you have
You
to
can
run
walk
back to your body.
And how long can that take sometimes?
Usually 30 seconds to a minute.
So there's like graveyards everywhere.
Yeah, but the point is, or the problem is they'll wait for you to spawn again. They'll hide behind a tree.
Yeah.
You get your fishing pole out, like, okay, this kid's gone. Throw another cast in the line, whack, right in the back. And you're just like, so then it gets to the point where
Do you have to survive and eat food and stuff?
you get food, which will help you, like, for instance, it buffs certain statistics or stuff like that, but you don't need to eat to live. But no, then you start gaining this, like, not necessarily an ability, but this feeling where I can't go out in the world unless I'm with friends, because then people are less likely to just jump you because there's two or three of you.
So it forces you to make alliances right off the bat?
Yeah. So, like, Nima wouldn't log in unless I was there, or I wouldn't log in unless a couple of my friends.
Just because you guys don't want to get killed.
Right, because it's annoying. It's just annoying.
I like the social part of it. I usually don't play games.
Yeah.
Like I bought an
That's the other thing
Xbox.
too, is you can join a group and you can talk to your friends anywhere in the world. You can join the general chat, which is people that are just in your zone. I mean, like you can. Is
there common goals?
Yeah, everybody has quests to do.
Because I would be interested in like becoming part of a team that does shit.
Okay,
but like stuff to gain complete.
So how competitive you want to be is going to determine how long you have to play to do that.
Fuck that.
The clan that I was in, or the guild that I was in, we would raid for 4 or 5 hours a night for
raiding.
Yes, about 5 hours or 5 days a week. Yes, so like it literally becomes a second job.
Okay, I do not want to do that anymore.
And
I don't want to get sucked in.
We're like, maybe at one point, I think we were top like 700 in the world, which is a pretty
top 700 guild.
Yes,
that's a lot of people. How many behind you guys?
34,000, 35,000. I don't even know how many.
That's more impressive.
And so, like,
well, you take out the people that really suck and they're not even there to try.
Even if you cut it in half,
you're like 700 out of, I'm going to say 16,000, which is still impressive.
Yeah, and let me just tell you, there are nights where you're just like, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't want to do this anymore.
It's ruining my life.
And to be honest, like, I haven't picked up the game since March 8th.
And that means that you are...
my character has been sitting in a city doing absolutely nothing for the last 90 days.
You're going to have a lot of rest XP.
Well, I'm max level anyway, so it doesn't matter.
Breadsticks?
Rest XP.
It's Blizzard's way of basically saying if you've been away for
log back in.
Right. They will give you, if you go back into a city and log out, depending on the time that you've been away, when you log back in, Blizzard will give you a boost in how fast you can gain XP for a certain amount of time.
What's XP?
Experience
to
points?
level up.
So much like you play Dungeons and Dragons?
Wait, that means no, I didn't. Hold on.
Okay.
Hold on. So you don't want to play for a while. You go in the city.
You log out for the night, go to bed, wake up the next morning.
Right.
You have bonus. So everything that you kill gives you double experience points.
So it's like whatever you've acquired the day before shows up next day.
Yep.
No.
Okay.
Wait.
Yes. Like rest XP wise, yes, it does.
Because I was thinking,
it
sounded like you go to the city and then the longer you log off.
Yes,
that's what it is.
That's absolutely what it is. So if you log off for like a week,
you get more.
Give you 2 levels of rest XP.
But why? How does that make sense?
It's to encourage people to come back
in.
Yeah.
Oh.
So like if you've been away for 2 weeks, you have something exciting to come back to. You have like, oh shit, I can level up now really fast.
Strategically, then I would want to start playing, get through the funnel, get myself settled. And then just peace game. I'll come back in 3 years and then I'll be like,
well, you still have to do all the leveling. What stinks right now, at least in my opinion, but I completely understand why they do it. As a new player, you could literally just buy the game right now and they'll give you a level 90 character.
Level 90?
Yeah.
I think I did that for level 40.
Max level is 100 right now.
Yeah, I understand, but why is that good for someone that's never played before?
It's not.
Annoying.
Yeah. That's the problem.
So it's probably good for people who stop and then want to go back.
Well, no, it's for guys like me, for instance, who have a max level and I want another one.
Yeah.
So I can just buy another one.
But that's not fair, considering there's a whole economy where you can like literally start making more money on there.
Yes and no.
It's not fair for the people just starting.
Well, but the thing being is that for instance, I already have a lot of mounts. I already have a lot of gold. I already have all the achievements. I already have all the raids done. The only thing I need is another character to go do whatever I want with.
Okay.
So rather than spending
You pretty much
Two-
finish the game and you're
2
bored and
months.
you can't do anything else with it.
So rather than doing 2 months of grinding another character up to level 100.
What if you just start helping people as your main character and be like
Okay, so
mentoring them within the game?
funny
You
story.
can get paid for that.
Funny story, true story. I got my dad to play, okay? And my dad is in his 60s right now. My dad levels up, and the funnel that I was telling you about, the zone, my dad, when he logged on, asked me, he's like, hey, are you good side or bad side? And I'm like, well, I'm the good side at the moment. He's like, well, then I want to be on the bad side.
Uh-huh.
And I'm like, oh, okay. I'm like, I want you to just experience what you want to experience, right? So he starts playing, and every day he would like text me or call me and be like, hey, I'm either stuck on something or I have a question for you. And he would continue to play, and he's leveling his character. And he made it all the way up to like level, I want to say 53 or 57. But my dad gets to the choke point.
Oh, that happens later.
Yeah.
Okay.
And he's there and he starts helping all of his other friends that are, well,
This is tight, Vin. That means if that happens at around level 50 and stuff, it's really if you go through that test,
yes.
to weed out the bad people,
Yes.
and the creme de la crop comes out of there, and then the world's bigger and more shit can happen, and magic
Yes.
is like that much more crazy.
So my dad's running around the zone just helping other people out, right? And I just happened to be running through the zone one day, and I noticed my dad is literally standing on the side of the road, and he's helping. He's a bad guy. He's helping the good guys finish the quest. And I'm like,
Really?
Yeah. And I'm like, I call him like, Dad, what are you doing?
Is that after he made it through the?
Yeah. He went back and started
How
helping
did he
people.
not get sucked in the whole hatred towards the other side that
So-
kills you as soon as you spawn?
That's the thing is, it did. But my dad was just like,
Yeah.
I'm kind of bored. And I'm
Yeah.
like, okay. He's like, I'm going to go help some people. And I'm like, okay.
That's great.
And he just completely blinders up, doesn't see good side or bad side. Just like, I'm going to help you if you need help. And I call him on the phone. I'm like, Dad, what are you doing? These guys were stuck on this quest. I'm like, how do you know? He's like, well, I waved to them and they waved back to me. And then they pointed to the thing that they wanted me to kill for them.
Oh, that's right. You can't talk to each other.
Yeah.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Yeah. You can't, if you're on the good side and I'm on the bad side, we can't talk to each other.
This is amazing.
Yeah.
Right.
So my dad's just floating around this stupid world helping the other side out. And I'm like, dude,
Without
what are you
being
doing,
able to
man?
communicate?
Yeah.
How did they do it?
You
they-
can emote in the game. So like you can wave at each other or you can
Okay.
bow or you can point at things.
But the actual chat doesn't
that
work
it-
with each other.
That's cool because then it makes it, you don't know what the other person says because it's different language.
Yeah.
Great.
So yeah, but that's my dad. My dad's like, I want to go back and help people. I'm just like, you're a wackadoo.
Well, I mean, if they put that, that's great. When they made that whole game, they were hoping for things like this to happen.
You'd be surprised, man. You'd be surprised.
That can start like real life, like storyline drama.
Yeah.
And that's why I asked you
when-
earlier.
when,
Is that what if they make it?
Can you open YouTube real fast?
No.
Okay.
What if they make a movie that's like?
They just play. I mean, they can make some really good documentaries. But what I was going to tell you to YouTube, when you get home tonight, type in World of Warcraft funeral.
Oh yeah.
So this kid dies in real life, and his guildmates in the game want to throw him a funeral in the game to pay respects, right?
So cool.
Okay. So they basically post on the forums, hey, we're going to have a funeral for this gentleman at this lake at 7:00 on Wednesday evening, blah, blah, blah. If you want to show up, pay your respects, that'd be cool. So they basically had like two people kind of standing at the edge of the river, and people were literally lined up, coming down, they'd pay their respects, and then they'd walk away. A Horde guild found out that the Alliance guild was doing this. They literally waited in the bushes till everybody to line up, and then they slaughtered all of them.
Oh my god.
They recorded the whole thing and put it on YouTube. And like, you talk about getting hate mail, bro. Hate mail.
I
But,
can't
like,
help but giggle. This is bad.
Yeah, and
Well,
like,
that's the amazing thing about gaming, though.
that's
It's like a virtual reality,
Yeah.
like big time. This is the closest to it so far.
Another
right?
good story. There's a kid who was part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation, had a brain tumor behind his eye. Inoperable. They couldn't get it, and they basically knew that this.
Terminal.
Yeah. And they said, hey, man, you're part of the Make-A-Wish Foundation. What would you like? And the kid's like, I want to go to Blizzard Studios. I want to talk to Mike Morheim and Chris Metzen, the guys who made World of Warcraft. He's like, my favorite game. I play with my dad all the time. And he's like, I would like to go and just... So, of course, the guys from World of Warcraft were like, hell yes, come in. This is going to be awesome. Like, we'll just have a whole day of us hanging out with this kid, and we'll do whatever he wants to do. So the kid gets there and they're like, dude, what do you want to do first? And he's like, hey, I've always wanted to get this mount in the game, but I could never get it. So the guys were just like, hey, not a problem. Boom.
This mount?
Yeah, a mount. Like the bird that's flying around. Okay. So there's special mounts in the game that you can get, and this kid wanted
That's
one.
cool, dude.
Yeah. So they just give it to him, right? And they're like, "How would you like to make your own weapon? Like we're a weapon that nobody else in the game has,
Yeah.
only you have." And he's like, "Okay, cool." So they take him down to the design room, and they have him like design this weapon for himself, right? And then, like, I have to assume it was a gift for his dad, but they brought him into the recording studio, and they had him record lines for the game. And when the kid passed away, they put him in the game now with his lines. So his dad can go up to him at any point in time, and you can click on him, and the kid talks to his dad in the game.
Oh my god!
So like
That's
forever
crazy.
encapsulated in the game. You can go
Yeah.
up to this kid. Like you and I could go there right now,
Yeah.
and this kid has a quest where he'll give you gold if you help him find his dog. And it's like the craziest. Like I'm like,
It's
dude,
fucking
it's
sad,
no. And it is. It's
but it's amazing, right?
when you go there, it is the weird, like the eeriest thing. Like you're literally listening to somebody who you know is gone.
Yeah.
And it's creepy. And I'm like, I don't know if I love this or if I would just never click on it again. And just knowing that it's there, I'm like, okay, I did that one time. I'm never going to do it again. Yeah, man. It's
it hits,
when Robin Williams passed away, they
Yeah.
put Robin Williams in the game.
because he was you player too.
Yeah.
It's it touches that humanity.
Yeah,
of
it's like you blur
what's
the line.
next and how we remembered and
You blur the line between what's real and what's not.
I know there's a new expansion coming out for Warcraft.
Yeah.
So obviously players going to go up again.
Yeah, another
But
10
honestly,
levels.
No, I'm saying like player count is going to go up again.
Yeah, sure.
But in a life graph of
World of
wow,
Warcraft, yeah.
I feel like it's on a downtick.
Oh,
now.
it is. It always is. It's been on the down since Ice Crown when they did
the movie was a ploy to get the numbers back up.
Oh, and obviously to
Kind of
continue
why?
the lore. I mean, they want to
I'm
make
sure
a movie
a
forever.
lot of passionate people working on it, making something great.
So Blizzard said that they'll continue to make expansions for the game as long as they have a player base that they think
What's
is.
their lower number?
That's the thing is we don't know the exact number, but right now I think it's floating right around 6 million people that are playing.
Yeah. Okay. So they're good.
At its highest point, I believe they're like right just over 13 million people playing.
Oh, that's not bad.
No. So as long as people continue to play, Blizzard's going to keep making content.
Well, I mean, a movie like this one makes someone like me want to play.
Yeah.
So if you have that little bit of like, oh, I like elves and I like this crap,
Yeah.
and
Just check it out. But yeah, no, I would encourage you just load it up. Even if you play 10 levels, it'll take you literally 2 hours to get to level 10. But you can just kind of meander about the world and see like
what if I don't like my what I chose?
delete it and start over.
Okay.
Q3 of 2015, 5.5 million.
Okay. And they're publicly traded, so they do have to announce numbers. Although they did say in the last like press briefing they're going to stop giving out numbers publicly. So they're going
really?
to give them to who they have to give them to, but
To
then,
shareholders and stuff?
but they're not
Okay.
going to announce them anymore. So
Yeah, it was pretty cool.
I like it.
I give
It's
it,
a start. Like it's a start for their universe. So
Yeah.
I'll give it
Well-
a 7.5 stars.
whoa, that's actually pretty high.
I was gonna say it's pretty high.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm glad. I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I really am. Because as a person who's played for 11 years, I loved it. But I can see where if you have no background information about it whatsoever, it's going to seem weird.
I feel like some of the one thing liking the most, I think, I probably have a different idea tomorrow, but right now I feel like actor/character chemistry was a weakest link.
Fair enough.
Do you know what I mean?
Right. But on the orc side, it's hard to get
Not
that
on the orc
chemistry.
side, on the human
on
side.
the human side,
The orc side was great. Very believable. Like they look human, but they're bigger. And
on the
stuff.
human
It's-
side, what's his name? The main guy.
well,
He did such a good job, but nobody else was giving back to him
Okay,
the
but
chemistry.
How about
Yeah,
the scene where they're
exactly.
sitting on the cliff and he throws the
Rock at the other guy?
Yeah, and it hits him in the head. Like that little interchange, like between Doomhammer and Duratar. You're like,
I wish there was more connections like this between characters.
Yeah.
More play between characters.
but the movie itself was 2 hours long, and so
it didn't feel that long to me. There was
Okay.
a lot of things moving around. So.
yeah.
No, I would give it a really high rating, not only because it was a good movie, but I'm excited for what they could do in the future.
I'm pretty sure on Rotten Tomatoes, the fan base is giving it like in the 80s. The critic base is like in the 20s.
Right.
So that usually tells you either they don't get it or they don't play World of Warcraft. They don't play World of Warcraft.
It's gonna be exhausting.
I like the
wanna
story.
Plan out another world.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like if one of my cousins went to see this, you'd be like, this sucks.
Really?
Probably.
All right. So that was our discussion about Warcraft.
Warcraft.
Yes.
Yeah.
And it was good talking to you guys.
Yeah.
I'm Remy. I'll see you later.
I'm Nima.
I'm Joe, and please tune in again next time.
That's right. All right. Bye.